Hey, everybody. Good to see everyone for day number 2. As you guys come on, please do pop into the chat. Please say hi and where you are tuning in from. I always love to see and obviously get a best idea of where everybody is watching from. So we got Austin, awesome. We got Los Angeles, Alberta, Cyprus, Nebraska. Awesome. So we got people from everywhere, which is wonderful to see. We have a lot to cover today. So I just want to go over some general housekeeping before we actually dive in. Well, first, I'm going to say this. I am extremely proud of all of you that did the accountability assignment from day number 1. I know that a lot of you may have had some anxiety, maybe some overwhelm, maybe a little bit scared about putting yourself onto camera and obviously posting it onto LinkedIn, which I saw a bunch of you did. So first and foremost, congratulations to all of those that did the work. So drop a Y or a yes if you posted your video either yesterday or today. So yesterday or today. Awesome. 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 Love it. And what I'll tell you is that, that is the first step. That is the first step to really being able to generate sales from the content that you create. And this happens every single week. I can't stress to all of you enough the benefit of showing up weekly on camera on LinkedIn, because you get recognized now. Again, all of this is to best position all of you as the experts in the space that you're in. People go to those who they trust most. So drop into the comments below. What was your biggest takeaway from yesterday's training on creating LinkedIn video, obviously to generate sales later on down the road? So yeah, just do it. I am way too dramatic. Not easy to keep it short. And that's a good point. A lot of people do struggle with being short and succinct. And what I'll tell you is that when you can get good at giving valuable information in 30 to 60 seconds, you nailed it. Because there's a lot of people, if Nancy was on here right now, she will tell you I'm a storyteller, right? I love telling stories. I love giving vivid descriptions. And, when I am put in a bubble, a 30 to 60 second bubble, again, it's one of those things where you have to lean into the uncomfortableness of it and get the job done. And anyone that was trying to do it through Zoom, if they missed yesterday's training, you should have did it through your phone. Or if you chose to do Zoom, make sure that you use the desktop version of Zoom to record your video, not the phone version. So the mobile app for Zoom is not best for doing LinkedIn video. The desktop version is. You want to use just your regular video camera on your phone if you're going to do it through your phone. So just wanted to clarify that really quickly. Now, today's training is on market research polls. Now, this one is actually very, very important. And what I'm going to do is really quickly drop a Y or a yes if you have not yet joined the Facebook group where the homework assignments are. Okay, so if you have not yet joined the Facebook group, I'm going to throw the link in the chat right there. Make sure you're in there. About 50% of you are in the group, 50% are not. Just make sure that you join the group, because that's where the homework winners will be picked. And again, obviously there's 2 homework winners that are going to be announced at the end of today's session, 2 Amazon gift cards. Tomorrow at the end of the session, 2 winners for autographed copies of my latest book. And then Thursday's session at the end, 2 people are going to get free access to my 197 course. So again, just make sure you're in the Facebook group. request to join, and obviously you will get welcomed in after we are done today's training. So with today's training, just remember, there are a multitude of emails that are being sent out. Obviously, the replay email is sent out tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. There's going to be a 1-hour warning before day number 3, a 15-minute warning, and a we are live. So just make sure that you don't report as spam or unsubscribe, because you'll miss all and any communication. And here's the cool thing. Type a Y or a yes or an N or a no if you have or have not ever done a market research poll on LinkedIn. So Y or yes or N or no. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of no's, some yeses. Okay, good. Now, here's the thing. And I'm already getting fired up, so jacket comes off. Anyway, the big thing that everybody needs to understand is people ask me all the time, Scott, how do you know what to post? Right? What should I post every day on LinkedIn or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Like, what kind of content should I provide? Instead of trying to be a magician or someone looking into a crystal ball and assuming that you're going to post certain things that you think the connections that you have on LinkedIn want to hear, ask them. Ask. The fact of the matter is, where all of my content is derived from is from the pain points that my network has. So if I want to know what my network is struggling with, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask them what they're struggling with. So the mistake that a lot of people make is that all too often they make predictive posts, meaning they're trying to predict, oh, this is something that's going to hit home. Oh, this is something that they want to hear about. And then guess what? Crickets. Nothing. Literally, it's like going into thin air. You look back and not only people aren't engaging, but there's no impressions, meaning LinkedIn doesn't even find it valuable to even show it on the news feed. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. I just want to make sure you guys are with me, because I'm going to be going over the benefit of market research polls. Obviously, I'm going to break it all down and how it should be done, and more importantly, what should not be done. But I'm going to show you some examples of things that I have done over the last few weeks that not only has given myself and my business momentous traction, but now, guess what? I don't ever have to run out of content, because I can go back to some of the polls that I did before and I can recycle them, meaning I can go back, I can look at some of the responses that people have, and I can say, ooh, this is something that people were struggling with. I should create some content around it. Now, and again, Christos popped in there. You can use ChatGPT. So if anyone, I'm going to kind of touch on that a little bit. AI is tremendously important in a lot of the things that we're doing for business. So if someone is struggling, and this is just an example, if you're struggling finding out what types of questions you should ask your target market, ask ChatGPT. So you can go into ChatGPT and you can say, what are the best questions I should ask my network on LinkedIn in regards to XYZ profession or XYZ industry, right? What are the best questions I should ask people in real estate? And then what ChatGPT will do is they will spit out 5, 10, 15 different poll topic questions that you can ask. So it is golden. If you have not, how many of you, why or yes, if you use ChatGPT, and or no if you don't? I just want to see, seeing a lot of yeses. All right. If you're not, make sure you start as soon as possible. I cannot express to you enough how much time it's going to save you. And here's the thing. The more that you use it with your own words, if Christos, if you want to just pop in there, ChatGPT again, so Melissa can see how it's spelled. It starts to learn about you, your voice, the tips that you provide. So it starts to actually get to know you and how you go about things. It's more time on our side, 100%. It's unbelievable. So here's the thing. If you ever are at a place where you've hit a stumbling block and you're like, man, I don't know what to ask it. I don't know what to ask LinkedIn. I'm not really sure. Lean on ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT for some prompts, and then obviously you can curate your own questions from there. So again, we're going to be going over market research polls today. People ask me all the time of the types of content that is posted. What has traditionally gotten the most engagement? Meaning, what gets the most impressions? And for me, it's my LinkedIn polls. Now, here's the other thing. Drop a Y or a yes or an N or a no if you are or are not in LinkedIn groups. Y or yes or N or no. Okay, so I'm going to pause here for just a second. If you're in LinkedIn groups right now, the groups that you should be in, and you don't have to be in 100, you should have 2 to 3 core LinkedIn groups. 2 to 3 core LinkedIn groups. Oh, thanks, Aisha. I appreciate that. The groups that you should be in, A, should be collaborators. So there's a group that I'm in called Network After Work. So it's a networking group of business professionals, right? There's another one that I'm in called the Brain Expansion Group. So it's a lot of mindfulness people. You should be in groups where there are relatable connection points from a professional standpoint. The other type of group that you can be in, a target market group. So I'm also in a coaches and consultants group because I work with a lot of coaches and consultants. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. I just want to make sure people are clear with this. So what I'm getting at is this. If you are in groups right now, and if you're not in groups, request to join groups that are either A, collaboration type groups, or ideal client type groups. If everybody is clear on that, just type the word clear in the chat. I just want to make sure everybody understands this. Okay. Now, the secondary thing that I want to say to that is this. The only content you should ever be posting in your LinkedIn groups is, guess what? If you know what I'm going to say, type it in the chat. If you know what I'm going to say, type it in the chat. Yep. Polls. That's the only thing you should be posting in groups. I've seen so many people share their information from their personal LinkedIn account. I see so many people posting videos or articles or posts, and it's crickets. It just gets lost in the feed. Why LinkedIn polls do so well in groups is because they're engaging. It's also easy for people to engage. They click a button. It doesn't have to require them to have to like and comment and just write a bunch of stuff. It's an easy click of a button. It's user-friendly. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. The only thing you should be posting in the groups are your LinkedIn polls. So a poll that you would do on your personal, you would also put it in 1 or 2 of the groups that you're connected to. Same thing, because you can craft and create a poll, and I can show you what that looks like on my end as well. Now, the benefit to this is, number one, you're getting extra market research from the groups that you're in. But number two, don't forget, I'm going to show you how this could lead to sales. If you're connected to those individuals, if they're first connections, you can actually see every single person who voted. Any person that has voted, you can see who it is. Whether they're a first connection, a second connection, a third and plus connection. If they're a first connection, you can send them a direct message, which I'm going to kind of show you how that's done. If they're a second connection, you can send them a connection request with a note that is mentioning how you came about. You're going to send, you would send a connection request to say, hey, I noticed that you voted in my recent poll on XYZ topic. Thank you so much for the support. Would love to connect. That's it. It's one of those things where market research polls go further than you can imagine. Much further. I promise you, you will start to find out what it is that your network actually wants to hear. And for me, it also allows you to narrow your focus. Meaning you can start to repeat the same poll questions every quarter. Because if you're doing the things that you should be doing on LinkedIn, which is building your network, that means you have fresh people in there. Which means when you start to do those new market research polls, it's new to a whole new conglomerate of connections. So you're going to get new market research on top of some of the old stuff. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. And again, I don't know what, it's so funny because I see so many quote unquote LinkedIn experts. I put that in quotations because people consider me one. I don't consider myself one. I just figured out how to use it, how to optimize it, how to monetize it. And I teach other people how to do the same thing. I have no secrets. There's no automation. There's no software. It's you being a human being connecting with people and leaving them a value. That is the secret right there. Sorry, cat's out of the bag. But there's so many quote unquote LinkedIn experts out there that I see them doing certain things, but the one thing they're not doing is they're not even doing their own market research. Now, groups are easiest to be found on the desktop. I'm going to show you where all that is when I share my screen towards the end of this. So, and again, I'm going to be sending out a form tomorrow morning. Just be on the lookout. It's going to be in the replay email tomorrow morning. It's going to be the Q&A form. So remember, Thursday is 60 minutes of Q&A with me. And I really encourage you to pre-submit any questions that you have. The last LinkedIn workshop that I did, I think there were 65 pre-submitted questions. And I got through all of them with 10 minutes to spare. So I am very good at really blasting through a lot of questions. So I've had people that asked 5 or 6 questions in a row. Feel free. So you're going to be getting that form tomorrow morning. So if you've never done market research polls, or maybe you've done them in the past, but really haven't been consistent with them, today is going to drive home the importance that you should always do them, whether it's on your personal or whether it's in some of the groups that you're in. The way that you never run out of content is finding out the areas of struggle that your ideal clients are having. So with that in mind, type in the chat, what is the biggest known problem or known struggle that your ideal target market has right now? Type the answer in the chat. What's the biggest known area of struggle? Prospecting. Awesome. It's a great topic. Consistency. Interest rates, generating leads, awesome. Weight loss, finding a lender, attracting clients, fatigue, power outages, lack of time, stress and chronic disease, self-compassion, awesome. These are all things that you need to be asking. And anything that you typed in there can be crafted into a question. And I'm going to show you some examples. So again, I'm going to drop this into the chat one last time. If you have not yet joined the Facebook group, please click that link to do that. That's where special announcements are. And that's also where the homework winners are picked from. So there's a homework thread. Again, same thing as yesterday. Today, there's going to be one pinned to the top that's going to say day 2 homework thread. So just make sure that you're in there. Now, if you are ready to dive into day number 2, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. All right, let me get my screen up. And then I'm going to do a couple things. Hide video panel, present, and present. Okay, if you could still see my screen, please type a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure. Okay, beautiful, wonderful. Okay, so again, just a reminder, obviously, there's going to be 4 emails sent out every single day. Again, there's going to be 2 homework winners announced at the end of today, obviously tomorrow and on Thursday. Now, so day number 2, creating LinkedIn market research polls. Now, someone asked me the other day, they said, what is one of the most important or most essential things for your business? So for me, it's market research across the board, whether it's done in a poll, whether it's done in a feedback form. You need to hear from your ideal clients. The way that you get people to cross the bridge to working with you is you have to make sure that your content is targeted to known pain points. The reason being is everyone is looking for a solution to their problem. Think about why you are here this week. Think about it. You wanted to learn how to create better content, video content, market research polls, newsletters. So you're here. Wouldn't you agree that this is one of the main reasons why you're here? Because you have known pain points of things that you want to learn? Drop a Y or a yes. That's why you're here. This workshop is a prime example of market research. You know, there were a few hundred people that signed up for this, so I know there are a few hundred people that have these struggles. Understanding your ideal client allows you to tailor your marketing efforts precisely to their needs, preferences, and pain points. Drop a number 1 if you feel you can do a better job at tailoring your marketing efforts. Drop a number 1. Yeah. All of us. I'm constantly tweaking things. This increases your efficiency and effectiveness of your marketing campaigns. I love those 2 words, efficiency and effectiveness. You know what that means to me? Ease. We don't want to do this struggling. We don't want to throw spaghetti at the wall. We want to do this with ease. Market research helps you fine-tune your products, your services to better meet your ideal client's demands. Wouldn't it make sense to create products and services and offerings that actually solve the problems that people are having within your target audience? The main reason, and this is key, I really want this to sink in for all of you. The main reason why people may not be buying what it is that you're offering is because you're not offering the solution to their problem. Oh, think about that. The reason why they're not buying what you're offering is because what you're offering may not be providing a solution to their problem. When you can actually fine-tune what you're offering, this is going to result in higher satisfaction, more sales, and brand loyalty. Drop a Y or a yes if you would like higher satisfaction, more sales, and brand loyalty. We all do. That's why I can't express to all of you enough. That is why market research is so important. Hearing from your audience is so important. In-depth research enables you to identify gaps in the market and the unique selling points or the USPs that you can make yourself set apart from competitors. What have you guys heard me and Nancy talk about all the time, right? Become the expert in your space. Position yourself as a category of 1. You can then capitalize on these advantages. Wouldn't you agree? When you can better identify gaps in the market and understanding the specific USPs, it's going to make it easier for you to set yourself apart from everyone else. If you agree, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. And a lot of people aren't talking about this on LinkedIn. That's why and again, you guys are going to be doing one poll a week right now. That's why I do two, because I know it provides me so much feedback. It gives me so much market research. It gives me content for days. For days. Market research can uncover potential pitfalls and challenges in serving your ideal client. Wouldn't you agree, if you better understood the pitfalls and challenges that your clients are facing, you would have a more profitable business? Drop a Y or a yes if you agree. Yeah. I mean, again, drop into the chat. Drop into the chat right now. Drop into the chat. What do you feel from everything that we've covered so far? What do you feel is the number one pitfall or challenge that your ideal target market has right now? The number one. Don't list a ton. I just want you to put in there. I just want you to put the number one. The number one. Fear of change, burnout, prospecting. Love it. Too much noise, stress, compliance, consistent revenue. Yeah. Not being heard, overwhelmed, anxious. When you can build your marketing efforts around the pitfalls and challenges, it's going to allow you to move the needle forward to better proactively address all of these and reduce risks. Drop a Y or a yes if you guys are seeing more value in market research than ever before right now. And we haven't even delved into a ton right now. This is where it gets good. As you grow, which every single one of you is going to, as you grow, having a deeper understanding of your ideal client makes it easier to identify and target new customer segments that resemble your existing clientele base. So what does that mean? Understanding exactly what your existing clients are struggling, you can start to identify future issues that may arise so you can uncover a secondary target market. Here's an example. If you know that one of the main issues that people deal with is consistent revenue, so that's maybe the main pain point. A predictive other pain point for a whole other segment of people could be the value of their offer. Because the value of what you're offering completely resonates and links to consistent revenue. Because if there is not a good offering, that means there's not going to be a good revenue source. If that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys are with me. So again, making sure that you have this deep understanding of your ideal client makes it easier to identify and target new customer segments that resemble your existing clientele base. It is so important. Now, when you have this deeper understanding of your ideal client, it enables you to consistently deliver value and meet their ever-evolving needs. Remember what I said yesterday. You want to be a person of what? Finish the sentence. You want to be a person of what? Type it in the chat. You want to be considered a person of value. One of the number one reasons, there's many reasons, but one of the number one reasons why people are struggling in business right now is because they don't understand their ideal client. If you agree with that statement, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. So you guys have heard me talk about this before. It's something called the PSP, right? The passenger side perspective. You always have to put yourself in that passenger side perspective, the person on the other side of the computer screen. You want to be marketing with people, not to people. Market with people, don't market to people. One of the best things that you can do is build brand loyalty and brand advocacy. And understanding your ideal client enables you to do this. Type a feeling in the chat of what it would feel like for all of you to 100% know everything about your ideal client, your ideal target market. What would that feel like? Focused. Confident. Yep. Empowering. Confident. It would feel great. It would feel good, knowledgeable, fantastic, confident, empowering, exciting. Nothing bad. Nothing bad. This is what I want you to all wrap your arms around. This is where it is. With clear criteria for your ideal client and their preferences, you can track and measure the success of your efforts, making it easier to adjust to strategies as needed. And the great thing about LinkedIn, when you're creating content on the platform, you can actually see, from an engagement and an insight, 10,000-foot view, what content is hitting home and what content is falling short. And the content that's falling short, you need to improve. The content that is hitting home, you double, triple, and quadruple down on. If that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Awesome. So today's focus. So if you guys are more clear about the market research aspect of things, just type the word clear in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys are with me. Okay. So I'm going to kind of break down what it is that you need to do for LinkedIn polls. And then I'm also going to show you some examples of some that are on my personal, some that are in groups, the analytics that you can look at, how you can start to create conversations from it, and how important it is for you to use these market research polls for continued content. So if you were ready for that, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Awesome. Now, I always advise doing at least one market research poll per week, no more than two. So, I've seen people, they just get too aggressive with their polls, because a market research poll you can have last for a day, 3 days, a week, or 2 weeks. I always recommend 7 days in length for your polls for people to vote. You get the most traction within the first, I would say, 2 to 3 days. And then obviously there could be continued engagement after that. But there's a lot of people that do a poll every single day. Too much. You're going to run out of stuff. For me, I do my polls on Wednesdays and I do a poll on Saturday. So what all of you are going to do, so some of you did your videos yesterday. If you did your video yesterday and you haven't done content yet today, you're going to do a poll today. If you did your video today, you're going to do your poll tomorrow morning. Okay. And again, this is going to give you some market research. So again, you can do one a week, no more than two. So if you can commit to doing one market research poll per week moving forward, type the word commit in the chat. So here's the thing. You should want to commit to this because number one, it's going to help you create consistent content. Number two, it's going to bring about any changes in the marketplace, pain points, areas of struggle that your ideal client has. And number three, it's going to lead to more consistent revenue in your business. So this is something that you 100% on top of LinkedIn video, you want to commit to doing at least once a week. Now, make sure that your poll is a relevant question to your target market. How many of you, just drop a Y or a yes if you've seen some stupid polls on LinkedIn? I mean, just straight garbage. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. The fact of the matter is that you need to make sure that it's a relevant question, but it's got to be short and succinct. So there's so many people that people get a little overzealous and they write a very, very long question. You want to make your question short and succinct so people can read it and respond to it like that. If that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Short and succinct, but it's got to be relevant. So let's do a little brain dump right now. Type in the chat a very basic question that if you asked your audience this question, it would give you some nice market research results from it. Type it in the chat. What's an example question that you could ask your target audience with everything? What do you want to learn? Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. And you giving a couple different options of things that they can learn. Do you make time for self-care? Yes or no? Yeah. Do you have a website? Yes or no? What do you struggle with? Academic writing. Love that. This is great. Are you using a UPS for your computer? These are all great questions. Do you pick up extra or overtime at expense of your family time? Yes or no? Yeah. What is your greatest challenge with self-compassion? Giving some examples. Wonderful. What tools do you use to manage your stress? Boom, boom, boom. What age should you do an estate plan? 18 to 29, 30 to 49. Yeah, great. Awesome. Are you frustrated with the glass ceiling in your workplace? Yes, no. Other comment below. Yeah. These are all relevant questions. We all have the questions inside of us because we know the answers. We know these pain points, right? So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Make sure your poll question is focused on a pain point that your target market has. Make sure it's focused around a pain point. I could talk about, how many leads do you generate a week on LinkedIn? 0, 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 10 plus. If the people are voting for 0, well, I know that I have some needed market research where I can then create content giving people tips on how they can generate leads. So you have to understand the answers that you provide lead to future content. The answers that you provide lead to future content. Make sure, again, your poll question is short and to the point. Short and to the point. That easy. You have to make sure that you are asking the right questions. If you want the right answers, if you want to create the best content, it's done by asking the right questions. Now, here are some tips that, and again, Christos was kind of on top of this early. Put yourself in the passenger seat of the question. Type a Y or a yes if you would agree that we are our own best client. We're our own best client. We teach what we've done. We teach what works because it worked for us. yourself in the passenger seat of that question. Think about where you were a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, and what were the things that you struggled with? The other thing is this. Go into this entire process, videos, polls, and tomorrow newsletters. Expect nothing, including your market research polls. Sometimes they hit right away. Sometimes they take some time. But you want to know the best way to destroy any opportunity for you to get the market research that you're looking for is quitting. It's saying, oh, well, I did 3 or 4 polls. No one's voting. So I guess I stink and I'm not going to do it anymore. You got to stick with this. Again, I want you to type in the chat, I commit. I commit if you're going to commit to doing this. Expect nothing. Have no preconceived expectations from any of this. Do not measure your future success on vanity metrics of social media. Do not. And back to what Christos said earlier. Use ChatGPT if you're not sure of what to ask. If you're not clear of what you should be asking your target market, just ask ChatGPT. But I want you to make sure that you do not ever, do not ask stupid questions. Do not ask clickbait questions. Do not ask questions that don't relate to your business. And never, ever ask questions that don't get you the market research needed to grow your business. So people ask me all the time, well, what constitutes a stupid poll or a clickbait poll? Someone put it earlier. Are you a dog person or cat person? How do you take your coffee, with or without cream? When do you put up your Christmas tree, before or after Thanksgiving? What do any of those have to do with business? What do any of those have to do with market research? Guess what? They don't. They don't. So if that's clear, well, all right. So to Christina's point, the person that's posting about a dog or a cat, if they maybe run an SPCA or an adoption center, fine. If they own maybe a coffee shop, it's a local business, that's fine. Maybe they own a Christmas store, that's fine. But if it's not your business, you shouldn't be asking a question about it. Those are Facebook friend topics. Exactly. Exactly. So if everybody is clear on this, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Good. Awesome. Now, so here are some examples. I want to give you kind of like some prompts. What are you struggling most with in your business right now? One answer could be generating leads. Number 2, generating consistent income. Number 3, could be something else. Are you happy with where your business is currently? Yes, no. How many days a week do you take off of work? None. 1, 3. You know, as you guys know, Nancy and I work 3 days a week. So we take 2 days off during the week, 2 days on the weekend. How many leads per week are you generating? None. 1 to 5, 6 to 10. Other, comment below. If all of those are clear and make sense as examples, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Awesome. So let's now look at some of mine. Okay, let's look at some of mine. Now, I'm going to just show you some examples of some recent ones that I have done. So again, this is one that I did in a group. You know, it only got 5 votes, but again, I can click to see, oh, Stephanie, there you are. She's on here right now. So you can see who voted for what. Okay. This was another one, got 42 votes. Okay. So 22, 19, 1. And now just drop a Y or yes. Do you guys see this little blue button right here? Yeah. So this is the direct message button. So what I can do is, so I can go back. This topic was, when it comes to, do you feel that you struggle to come up with content to create on LinkedIn for your target audience? So 52% said yes, right? So what I can do is, these people that said yes, I can actually click on this little button right here and watch this. So I can go in and it's going to pull up the message. So I'm going to see who I want to send it to. I'm going to send it to Marissa Amarian. So I'm going to type Marissa Amarian. There she is. Okay. And I'm going to write the message right here. Okay. So, hi, my friend. Thank you so much for voting in my poll last week. If I can ever be of service or assistance to you, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great rest of your day. And that is it. Send. So you can see right here, I sent her the message. It actually has what she voted in. And now I'm planting some seeds. If that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. And you can message as many of those people as you want. So right there, that is someone that I could help because they're struggling with creating content. So another poll question that I did. Okay. Let me go to one from about a week or so ago. So right here, this was in a group that I did. Do you feel you are taking full advantage of everything that LinkedIn has to offer? 149 votes. 85% of the people who voted said no. They don't feel like they're taking full advantage. So I can click on all the no's. And again, this is everybody. So what I can do is so these are all, I mean, you can consider these warm leads. Yeah, absolutely. Because these are people that are engaging with you. So when you want to message or connect with a second connection, right? So again, I'm going to use Scott as an example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Scott. And let me just go back really quickly. I'm going to send him a connection request. Okay. And I'm going to add a note. And I'm going to say, hi, Scott. I just wanted to say thank you for voting in my poll in the network after work group we are in. Hope to connect with you in the future. That's it. Just something if this makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. You're sending a connection request that is specifically linking how you came to find this person. They engaged with me, and I'm just going to click send. Done. That's it. But again, I have so much content now. So look, this got 5,300 impressions. So I can look at this, right? And it's giving me so much information. This shows you the total number of times that your post was shown on the screen. I mean, almost 5,500 times. Wouldn't you agree that that's great engagement? So let me go to a couple others. So this, what form of content do you struggle most to create? 20 votes, okay? So LinkedIn video, LinkedIn newsletter articles, LinkedIn market research polls. So you can see right here, I can then send another message. Hey, Amina, thank you so much for voting in my poll about what you struggle most in creating on LinkedIn. If I could be of any service or help in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out. This is how you nurture people. This is how you move them through the get to know you process to becoming a client of yours. I'm asking relevant questions that is giving me ammunition, not only to create future content, Because if 60% of the people here voted they're struggling with LinkedIn video, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to create content around LinkedIn video. If that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. And again, I can go back for days, right? 106. How often do you post on LinkedIn? 164 votes, right? 81 people said they don't post at all. 81 people. 49% of the people that voted said they don't post at all. So what can I do? I can then create a piece of content that gives people 3 reasons why they should be posting 3 times a week on LinkedIn. If all of this is making sense, just drop a number 1 in the chat. All of this is connected. Your content is based on what people are struggling most with. Now, let's create a poll. Okay, I'm going to kind of walk you through this. So if this has been very helpful, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Good. Now, why this is going to be relevant today is because I'm going to teach all of you how to now leverage your LinkedIn polls to creating LinkedIn newsletter editions each week. Right? So if that's exciting to you, drop a Y or a yes in the chat, because what you're doing today is going to allow you to create longer form weekly LinkedIn articles / newsletters. This is how you start to position yourself as an expert in your space. Now, I'm going to do something very, very easy. Okay. So I'm just going to click start a post, and you're going to see this 3 little dots. Okay. It's going to say more. I'm going to click on that, and you're going to see right here, create a poll. Create a poll. So I'm going to hit this, and now it's going to give me this pre-templated thing to fill out. So if everybody can see this, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to ask, obviously, just a very basic question. What word best describes how you currently feel about LinkedIn? Okay. Spammy. Salesy. Connection. Other. Comment below. So if that's clear and if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. So I want to get people's feelings about how they feel about LinkedIn, right? So what word best describes how you currently feel about LinkedIn? Spammy, salesy, connection, other, comment below. Yeah, it looks easy. It is easy. Then I'm going to click done. And now I'm going to just write a little blurbit about this. What are your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this topic about LinkedIn? And then I'm going to use, as always, you want to use 3 hashtags, right? Market research, LinkedIn tips. Now, here's the other cool thing. Type a Y or a yes or an N or a no if you did or did not know that you can pre-schedule your polls ahead of time. Now watch this. You ready for this? Drop a Y or a yes if you see this little clock right here that says schedule for later. Just drop a Y or a yes. Now watch this. So I want this to go out tomorrow morning. Okay, I want this to go out tomorrow morning. So I'm going to click schedule for later. I'm going to click the date, which is tomorrow. And then I'm going to select the optimal time, which I always suggest, 7:30. I'm going to click next. I'm going to click schedule. And now it's done. So now if I go back and hit start a post, I can click this schedule for later, view scheduled posts, and there it is. it's posting tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. How easy is that? Cool is right. Cool is right. So if everybody is clear on what I just showed you, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay, good. Now, a couple of things before we finish today. Number one, there is going to be a post pinned to the top of the Facebook group. It's going to say day 2 homework thread. All you have to do is do your market research poll. You can either post it today. If you're going to do yours today, type in today. If you're going to do it tomorrow, type in tomorrow. I want to know when you guys are going to be doing this. Today, tomorrow. All right. And don't forget, you can pre-schedule it for tomorrow. So you guys can go on today, do your poll, and then pre-schedule it for tomorrow. Okay. So all you have to do is go to the thread at the top of the group and just say, I posted my market research poll, and you're going to do that in the comments. You don't have to share it. You can just type, I posted my LinkedIn market research poll. If everybody is clear on the accountability assignment, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Okay, good. Awesome. So drop in the comments below, what was your biggest takeaway from today so far? What was your biggest takeaway from these market research polls? Because again, this is a consistent lead source. This is something that's going to really move the needle of your business forward. Scheduling in advance, you can pre-schedule. Yep. Asking ChatGPT, something I can do. Polls are a good source for new business. Yep. And again, so what I just showed you how to do, you can also do in groups. All you would have to do is go into that group. And let me just show you that just really, really quickly. Say you wanted to, post it in a group. Again, all I would have to do is hit start a post, and you'll see right here a little down arrow, and you just go to group, and I just select the group that I actually want to do this in. And I just select this, hit save, I hit done. And now you'll see I'm posting it into the group, and then I just hit poll, and then I just create it again. That's it. Okay. So if everybody is clear, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys are with me. All right. The 2 Amazon gift card winners. Remember, 2 more winners will be announced tomorrow when we're done. Those are going to win 2 copies, copy each of my latest LinkedIn book autograph copy. The 2 winners from yesterday, Catherine Berman and Scott Gray. So I have everyone's email address, so you don't have to do anything. But the 2 winners that will be announced tomorrow, I am going to need your address of where I'm sending the book. So make sure, remember, to qualify, you have to be in the Facebook group. You have to post your homework in that thread tomorrow. It's going to say day 2 homework thread. A replay of this will be available, obviously, in the guides section in the Facebook group. And again, it will be emailed out tomorrow morning, along with the link to pre-schedule or to pre-submit your questions for day number 4 for Thursday. If everybody is clear, just drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure everybody is with me. So remember, tomorrow we're going over how to start or throw some gasoline on your LinkedIn newsletter. So drop a Y or a yes or an N or a no if you've started a LinkedIn newsletter. Yes, no. All right. I see a lot of no's. I see some yeses. If you haven't started one ever, you're going to start it tomorrow. And I'm going to walk you through step-by-step how to do it. If you have one, but you want to better be productive with it, I'm also going to show you how to do that as well, because we're going to be using all of the content that we're posting. Because just remember, if you posted a video, boom, you got one piece of content done. You're going to get your poll, and then we're obviously going to start our newsletters tomorrow as well. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed today for day number 2. Tomorrow, we're getting into LinkedIn newsletters, how to start them, how to create them, and how to throw some gasoline on them. So everyone, please enjoy the rest of your day. Love and gratitude, and I'll see you.